channel. I'm here with a special guest. She is an amazing wedding planner. This is Jamie Wolfer.
Hi guys! Yeah, my name's Jamie. I am actually a fellow YouTuber and reached out to this lovely lady because she just got engaged and obviously low-key a little excited about that with you. And so basically I produce content that helps brides who are in the wedding planning process.
Since I did obviously just get engaged, I'd love to talk about things that when it comes to just getting engaged. So for me as a new engaged slash, you know, fiance girl, it's kind of confusing to not know where to start and, you know, what do I say to a wedding planner when I'm just gotten engaged and what are the things that I need before I meet with somebody who does what Jamie does, which is so awesome. And you can definitely check out her channel. It'll be linked down below. She has awesome tips and advice, and we just filmed a video for her channel, so you can check it out. So today's video is, like I said, going to be tips on where to start when you first get engaged. So I guess we can just dive into that. So you want to take it away?
Yeah, so after you have your freak out moment, sit in that for a minute.
Yes.
And you tell your family, you tell your friends. If you're anything like me, you post it to social media almost instantaneously. Once you get through that portion of things, that's when things kind of start to get heavy.
Yeah.
And feel like, oh no, here we go.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, after you get through like the freak out phase, my biggest tip is to start a Pinterest board, because that's the more fun side of planning a wedding, is the dreamy portion of things, and you're gonna kind of need that to keep you afloat when you have to start thinking of the next few steps.
Yeah, it's good visual. So.
Yeah. And then after that, I would say budget.
It's important.
It's super important. I don't recommend that anyone books anything without having a budget first.
Another thing that we also talked about before filming was the season of, you know, and the time of year. So going into it, you probably just got engaged and you're kind of starting to think about maybe what time or what time of year you want to have your wedding. So maybe talk with your fiance, sit down and, you know, realize that you get to call him fiance now. Really just, you know, sit down with him and say, okay, do we want to go for a summer wedding or would we rather do something in a different season? So we kind of just knew that we wanted to do summer and then you start from there. So I think that's a good place to start too. But
yeah, it's almost like you can't plan too much of your wedding without a date.
Exactly.
But you can't book a venue without a budget. So all of these things are kind of interconnected. So once you kind of have a season in mind and you have a general budget, then my recommendation is you start venue hunting, and that's when you'll get your specific date ready to go.
So now that we've gone over those really first steps that you would do after your engagement, I kind of wanted to talk to her about the specifics that go into, you know, meeting with your wedding planner if you do have one, which most likely all of you will because you need it. So Jamie, you can tell us what would it be, what would I need really right off the bat when I come to you or to a wedding planner?
And I'm really glad you're asking that. Because that's not something that we commonly get asked. And I'll say for the most part, because no one asks those questions, that you can come to me with whatever information you already have prepared. And usually I can like glean the bits of info that I'll need from you. So for the most part, I actually don't even have couples prepare before they meet with me.
Oh, good.
And that's okay, because I really want an organic experience. Those first few items that I listed, budget, date, venue, those sorts of things, at least have a picture of what all of those are. Because if you don't have a budget in mind, you won't know whether I fit in your budget or not. Or if you don't have a season in mind or a location in mind too, then I don't know how to help you find a place. So have a general idea of where you want it to be, when you want it to be, how much you want to spend, because that'll provide us with a springboard to at least get an idea of your event.
And then also I think a lot of brides, obviously the most important thing on that day should be marrying the love of your life. But for me, I know that I really do love photos and video, especially because then that's something you guys can look back on in years. So I know for me, aside marrying him, it would be the most important thing would be photo and video. So you kind of want to sit down and just really think about, is your, you know, most important thing florals and you want to tell the wedding planner, or is your most important thing photos like me and you want to tell your wedding planner? So then they can really budget that in. So I think that's good to come to them with your most important aspect or thing. So
absolutely, because if you don't value florals that much, then obviously we're going to allocate a lot less to florals. But you kind of need to know that coming into it, or at least early on in the planning process, because then you don't want your planner budgeting $5,000 for florals when you're like, but I hate them. You know what I mean? Knowing what you want out of the day, because that's what a planner does, is they create your day. They're not trying to create like a cookie cutter standard day for you. They want to make yours.
One of the last big topics we wanted to talk about is saving a bit of money anywhere that you can when you're first starting out. So, like we said, the first thing, or one of the main things where you can kind of save a bit of the money, we kind of already touched on it, was the guest count. Really going through that list with your fiance and really seeing what people are important to you and what people maybe, you know, aren't really worth paying that almost $100 for.
Yeah.
So, keep that in mind.
Don't book until you budget. Don't book anything until you know exactly how much money you have to spend, because it starts getting to be a really slippery slope. So if you book a venue that ends up taking 50% of your wedding budget, you may not have room for a videographer or a photo booth or a coordinator or a planner. And so if those things are important to you, you need to sit down and assess those things first. So that means having a frank conversation with your parents, a frank conversation with your fiance's parents, and a really good look at your personal budget and trying to figure out how much money you can get out of that from month to month and throughout your your planning process.
Budget, big thing. Pretty much the last part in this whole trying to save money where you can is really researching. For instance, if a florist comes to you and gives you a price, but it's so high, and you just agree to it right away, you could have gone with the florist that was much cheaper for you know, a more affordable price. So I think it's doing a research and seeing who costs around your budget. I think that would probably be a good tip. All right, and that was all that we had for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that these tips help you girls out there who are just now getting engaged. You can definitely check out Jamie's channel. It'll be linked down below, and her other like social media stuff. And yeah, thanks so much for being on.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me.
Cool. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.